A storm in a teacup. That's what it's all about. Just a storm in a teacup. The big question is, whose tea is the best? Is it Helen Zille's tea or Jacob Zuma's tea? Remember, 2 years ago, Helen Zille invited Julius Malema for a tea and to have hardest hitting conversations, essentially debates about the state of South Africa and where it's heading. And what happened? Julius Malema said, I'm just paraphrasing, you must be lost, Gogo. You are on your way for some SASA office. Jokingly so, basically declining to have a debate with Helen Zille. Helen Zille doesn't back down. She's like one of those brawler boxers. Marcos Maidana comes to mind. Brawler. No? She's a counter puncher. She gives you one. You give her one, she gives you one. So eventually, Julius Malema didn't go for a debate. I think it was closer to some elections. So you can understand, Julius Malema is a strategist. He doesn't do anything without thinking. This brings me to this tea time that he would like to have with former President Jacob Zuma in Nkandla, as Msholozi affectionately calls it. It's happening on Saturday. And this comes amid situation where Jacob Zuma said that he's not going to honor the constitutional court decision, and go to the Zondo Commission. He complained about it being biased against him, so he's not going. And you just wonder what Julius Malema wants to do in that regard. Obviously, like I'm saying, that it always strategizes. Remember, when he was still in the ANC, Helen Zille wanted Julius Malema, because he was the president of the ANC Youth League, to debate with, the name is escaping me, the lady that wants to Harvard, Miss Mazibuko. And Julius Malema was like, no, I'm not going to debate with your T-girl. I want to debate the madam. Obviously, also it was a political move from Julius Malema, because by saying that he wants to debate the leader of the opposition party as a youth league leader also gives him stature, and is also holding the fort for the former president Jacob Zuma. As a president, say, hey, look, President Jacob Zuma is way, way, way above your level for you to be debating with President Jacob Zuma. Rather debate with me and I'll show you how it's done. And needless to say that later on, Julius Malema apologized to Ms. Mazibuko about calling her a T-girl. The name or this expression comes from the past. It has connotations of oppressions and apartheid era. So he apologized, and yeah, they moved on. So now he's going to meet President Jacob Zuma. One wonders what that's going to be about, because remember, after being booted out of the ANC, Julius Malema, around 2012, the person who was at the helm of the ANC was President Jacob Zuma, as the ANC Youth League was kicking up the storm, talking about, hey, we need to implement all the policies that the ANC, said that should be implemented. Remember, those were the formation of the governmental bank, the National Bank, and all sorts of policies. Essentially, the very same things that are in the policies of the economic freedom fighters. They were booted out, and they started coming with the very same policies, and they were criticized by the ANC, saying that, look, the EFF basically are just doing what we're doing, and the EFF were like, hey, these are the policies, yes, we agree, these are the policies from the ANC Youth League, as well as some from the ANC, which you guys didn't implement, so you cannot blame us when we're implementing them. And now, maybe this will just be assumptions that, okay, Julius Malema is meeting Jacob Zuma. He's probably going to say, man, listen, why don't you just go to the commission, you know? And then at the end of the day, he's going to come out as some sort of a peacemaker, a person who's above Frey, who had facilitated the rule of law, being honored. So we'll see what's going to happen. Because remember, throughout the whole mission of Julius Malema, when he was out there gunning for Jacob Zuma to be fired, raising up all those motions in parliament, of which the ANC voted about 8 times against it, saying that Jacob Zuma is going nowhere. And yesterday, the General Secretary of the ANC was asked by Samkelo Maseko, where he said, don't worry about the constitution. And I've seen Ismakashule speaking, when he's speaking this language from Britannia. I think it's where really some people should just speak their home languages in order for them to express themselves better. Because you can interpret the whole thing in so many ways. My understanding of him saying, don't worry about the constitution, would be like, hey man, you bother yourself too much with this issue of the constitution. Okay? Whereas I'm trying to tell you that this man says he is aggrieved and he doesn't want to go to the commission, Whereas then he's getting pinned down into, no one in the senses would, especially the General Secretary of the governing party of the nation, would just say that they don't respect the constitution. You can go back to all other files, all the press conferences that he has. They always talk about upholding the constitutions and so forth. And I guess this is where now our media has just come to become another animal, where you say something and then they take it and just run with it. And also, he should just resort into speaking his home language in order to express himself better, because he really fails in this department. I saw him speaking during the court case of Jacob Zuma while he was on stage. So he was trying to say a whole lot of things in English, but it helped because he started speaking his home language, And he's one of those people who are not really gifted when it comes to speech and oratory. Just crude, even when he speaks in his mother tongue. But it would have helped for him to express himself in his mother tongue, other than now finding himself in a situation where really the individuals, today they're like analysts all over, the opinion ad in papers talking about him, just say basically, hey, forget about the constitution, basically stuff the constitution, stick it to where the sun doesn't shine. And yeah, and also obviously it doesn't do him good on the as he's on this the faction side of Jacob Zuma, and he's also embroiled with allegations of fraud and corruptions, also involving his sons, and so we'll see how this whole thing unfolds during this battle of the faction of the ANC, the Cyril Ramaphosa faction, and the Jacob Zuma slash Ace Magashule faction, basically. And this stems from the national conference or the elective conference, where the policies of the Zuma slash Magashule faction won the day, and the policies of Cyril Ramaphosa's faction lost. And now you have a president who's presiding and slow walking the implementation of the policies that the elective conference has put forward. And as a result, we are in a situation where whether the Zuma and Ace Magashule factions, whether they would be guilty or they're guilty or not of the allegations of fraud and corruption, they will be constantly be under attack, because it shows that the government in the ANC does not want to implement the ANC's policies. So as a result, unfortunately, the Magashule faction is being attacked throughout, and as they get attacked, the same policies of the ANC are deemed and seen to be under attack. So we'll see as this goes on. My name is Mamuji, and thanks for watching the Mamuji Show, and I'm out.